Okay, the Nothing Phone 1. Now, a lot of people and the entire YouTube missed, if you have closely watched the Nothing events.
I've been using the iPhone, the MacBook, and the iPhone is really heavy. The iPhone alternative to Apple, the iPad, AirPods.
There were always comparisons to Apple, but the phone is nowhere priced close to an iPhone. Also, the ecosystem.
Nothing's product ecosystem will be different and open.
So it makes sense to compare Nothing Phone 1 with an iPhone and the Pixel 6. So we came out in real life scenarios, practical condition to test the Nothing Phone 1 against the Pixel 6 and iPhone 13. And although the specs on Nothing Phone 1 would be mid-range-ish, but the camera as per Nothing was flagship. And one of the few or only phones in this range to have a both 50 megapixel main and 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Now I was a bit amazed when they shared the first set of photos. They looked good, but there were no human photos. And to my surprise, here, have a look. I mean, just by looks, A, B and C, comment and let me know which is the best photo. Like, go, I'll wait. Now A is iPhone 13, B is Pixel 6, C is Nothing Phone 1. And even if you zoom in on sharpness, skin tone HDR is on point. And if you think, Pratik, this is just one photo, well, have a look at another one. The iPhone 13 photo is just too much lens flare. Pixel 6 is fine, but still you see the lens flare at the bottom. But Nothing Phone 1, accurate colors, no lens flare. Now, in case you don't know, lens flare is when bright light hits the lens glass and scatters. But before that, we are hiring for a couple of full-time positions at TechVisor. We want to work with you guys from the Delhi NCR office. Excited about it? Fill out the Google form in the description or you can forward it to your right friend. First of all, I would give it to Nothing. It takes very close to natural colors and it has that slight contrast to give it a moody vibe. The colors, picture are as you see them in real life. The camera exactly captures that. Like in this photo, iPhone 13 is a bit yellow, Pixel 6 is slightly boosted, Nothing Phone 1 is closest to what it looked in real life. And time again, it proves that natural color theme. So one thing that I quickly noticed is not a lot of people talk about, but both on the Nothing Phone 1 and the Pixel 6, you can just open the camera by double pressing the power button and it is as quick as removing the phone from your pocket. And on the iPhone 13, as you can see, you cannot open the camera by just double pressing the power button. However, you can remap the back tab to double tap and open the camera, but your phone has to be unlocked for that. But this is all bright sunlight condition. The actual problem starts when you go indoors. Like this photo, it's got that pinkish tint. Also, if you zoom in on the face, the Nothing Phone 1 is a lot less sharper. Also see here, when you're slightly indoor light condition, the shutter speed becomes a bit slow. See? And this photo I took exactly, see the yellow car? It's at the end in iPhone 13 and Pixel 6, and in Nothing Phone 1, it's in the middle. And if you go in low light, it just falls off. The HDR is okay-ish. If you zoom in, it's soft, low details. But the real thing starts in the ultra-wide-angle camera. The Nothing Phone 1 has 50 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, which sounds great, but the photos are very average. Like, less details. See this Manu's photo? It looks like a photo painting, no details. Looks like they need to push an update to fix the ultra wide angle camera. Even there is a color shift, like very slight, but there is a color shift. And I don't blame Nothing for this. It's very difficult to have two sensors to give the same color. And phones like Pixel 6 can do that almost, and iPhone 13 does it the best. Same goes with videos. And even in good light, it does a very good job in videos, but compared to iPhone and Pixel, the stabilization is meh. And one thing I noticed that the videos on the Nothing Phone 1 is exactly opposite to the photos. It is saturated, contrasty as of now. Maybe this might change in update, but it is what it is. And as soon as you decrease the light, the detail and stabilization gets more bad. Now credit where due, you get night mode option in photos, selfies, ultra wide angle, and even in videos, you have a night mode option, but the video goes down to 1080p 30 fps. And also, the Nothing Phone 1 doesn't support 4K 60 fps, while both the Pixel and iPhone 13 supports 4K 60 fps. I think the reason they omitted is because it would be too heavy for the chip. One thing I would say, it takes way better selfies than iPhone for sure, and I guess most phones take better selfies than iPhone. All in all, the Nothing Phone 1 camera app doesn't have lots of features. You get a very basic camera app. You get 1080p 120 fps slow motion videos. Footage isn't that great. And you get this glyph lights, which I feel is not much used while taking low light photos. Like, I left everything at default settings, and here's some photos without the flash, with glyph light. Photo is bright but all yellowish because the LEDs are kind of yellowish. Now see here, you can increase the brightness of glyph light here from the menu, but this is how much light you get in a dark area. The real usage is though macro photos, and it takes great macro photos. It uses the same 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera for macro photos, and see here, you can't get that close to the subject, but there is enough detail that you can zoom in, crop the photo later and have like a good macro shot. All in all, am I saying the Nothing Phone 1 is a bad camera phone? No, but is it a flagship camera phone? Is it competing with Apple, Pixel or Samsung? No, not a chance. But think about it. Where the Pixels, iPhone, Samsung are 9 out of 10 in smartphone cameras, the Nothing Phone 1 is still 6 to 7 out of 10, and it costs less than the iPhones, in fact half. They did manage to make a very good main camera and selfie, but people often forget that this is Nothing's first phone. It will take time to make a good overall camera phone. But in my opinion, it's still impressive for the camera. I like that moody, contrasty look. Like we took all three of us photos in good lighting conditions and it displayed our skin tone accurately. But here's the thing, marketing hype makes you believe unrealistic things. Like stay away from that and subscribe to TechVisor to stay wiser. Like it took Google 2 years to develop the camera app and then they used the same sensor for 5 years. iPhone 13 is the 13th version of iPhone. And then expecting Nothing Phone 1 to be as good as them is kind of unfair. And Nothing is hardly 2-year-old company. Well, let us know your questions about the Nothing Phone 1. We'll cover them in a detailed review. I'm still working on it. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off. See you in the next video.